Sorry, I'm late, ladies and gents. Let's try and get the stream. So, live for the final round. Paste. That'll do. That'll do. Right, yeah. So, like I said, sorry I'm late. I know I do normally like to actually get the stream rocking a little bit early, but yeah, it's just been a bit of a challenging evening tonight. Lots of stuff has been going on. So what you're joining me for then is the final round of the NxtGen Racing Power Maxed Megane Trophy. So this is the long-running series. Hirokram, the champ, is in the house. Hirokram, I know we're doing this on the fly, dude, but after the race, if you've got 2 minutes, we can do a little champions interview with you if you have availability. Do please let me know. P-Gib, how are you doing, sir? We've got a few other drivers in here tonight. Anyway, yeah, so the final round from Lago Maggiore GP. This is one I'm going to his most sports fictional circuits, one of my personal favourites as well, it must be said, and it's a circuit that always produces quite interesting racing, given that it has a varied amount of opportunities to make an overtake, including the big banky boy hairpin, where you'll probably see a lot of moves happening tonight. I'm alright, JPH. A little bit rushed and a little bit late, but there we go, that's life, innit? Yeah, so this will produce a good race, no doubt. The drivers have been talking about it all week. In terms of the championship, that is signed, sealed, delivered. Hirokram has you've sent a phone request, have you? All right, I'm just gonna blue screen everyone. Give me a sec. I really like this track. Yeah, it's good. It's good. A lot of people have been using our track guide as well. There we go. Cool. Right, coming back to you with some visuals now. Sorry about that. Yeah. So Hirokram has sealed the title. That's done. Cannot be undone by anybody. Hirokram has, he's delivered an exceptional season. Although, as JPH mentioned in the podcast that I did try catching up with today, he's not had it all his own way this season. There's been some incredible drives along the way. The gap between Hirokram and the rest and the other human beings has shrunk. There has been exceptional drives from Timmy, from Bruce Lee Harding, from Wodo, from Jaino. Everyone else really. Tim is probably one of my drivers of the season if we discount Wodo. Has had an exceptional one for me. Oh, you're doing a trivia lap? Yeah, fair enough, that's fine. Yeah, JPH, I'm just vastly unprepared, my friend. But you know, I'm good at winging things. Oh, we're doing Brands Hatch. Oh, right, okay. So we'll just wait for the drivers to form up for the parade lap. I'm not currently looking at chat and it may disconnect me, so if you chat between now and the end of this, there's a high chance I just won't see it. Okay, so the parade lap you are seeing, and the special livery that is being worn by JPH, who typically runs the Power Max Racing livery, is in honour of Captain Sir Thomas Moore, born in April 1920 and recently passed away. He was a British Army officer, but everyone knows him because of his fundraising efforts throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. So he started originally by wanting to raise £1,000 for the charity NHS Charities Together by his 100th birthday. The story gained worldwide coverage, I would guess. I don't know, it was certainly a very large campaign. the total fundraising was less than a month, and in that time amassed just shy of £33 million that the one man raised, just by doing laps of his garden. Became a little bit of a household name, a firm favourite among everyone, really. Sort of identified that British spirit that we've sort of been missing for so long. I think a lot of people resonated with the message that he was essentially delivering, and his actual tenacity and shared undying will. In his sort of former life, and earlier on in his life, he was serving in World War II in India. He then became an instructor in armoured warfare. As part of the Duke of Wellington's Regiment, 145th Regiment Royal Armoured Corps, and 146th Regiment Royal Armoured Corps as well, reaching the rank of captain within as well. So this is the drivers, just sort of a little small tribute to Sir Captain Tom Moore, just something that they wanted to do. It's a very fitting tribute within our realm. It's our little wing wave, as they call it. It's just something that for us, we only really do these on special occasions. It's the time that the drivers will like to spend in the cars, just remembering someone that may have been quite special to them, and as well just sort of recognising who Captain Sir Tom Moore was as well. So that's the parade lap. We'll have a quick flick through the cars. Some of them may be adorning a special decal tonight, but JPH, who is the host of this entire league, has spent an unwielding amount of time putting this all together, has created a special livery for the occasion as well. So rest in peace, Captain Sir Tom Moore. We'll have the room reset very shortly. That will send us back to Italy and Lago Maggiore. There we go. So we will head into 10 minutes qualifying in a moment. That will set us a grid for the 20-minute race. So it'll be a nice short stream for you tonight, not too much involved. And that will be the season concluded. I was just waiting for the loading to do. Don't need to do a reset or anything, we'll just go straight into it. So we'll do an open quali. Would otherwise just left the room, but no doubt he'll be back before the race begins. Right, okay. There he is. He is back. He has returned. Alright, 10-minute quali. Laps around here should be just shy of 2 minutes, so not too many quali laps to focus on. We're running everyone tonight, so in other words, it's not the reverse grid race that you may have been sort of used to seeing from the last one. A couple of different drivers in to speak, but I think these are fillers. We've got Mike Rudd in here in the 64 Tang Tools car, and we've got Jack H, who is driving the number 21 Adrian Flux car as well, along with your regular firm family favourites of Hill Climb Racer, Hirakram, D Whitehouse, Timmy DJG, JPH, Bruce Lee Harding, Rally Matt, Jano, Adam ID, Ruddo 24 and P-Gib 92. So the regulars are in the house. The guys that have been with us for the duration of the season, and they're gonna put on one last show for you tonight. Jack H is Scrim Grey. Fair. That makes sense then. That makes sense. I know who he is. He's had that many PSN changes though, P-Gib. Can be blamed for forgetting that one. So outlaps are still happening. The drivers are just finding a suitable space on track for themselves to get the next lap in, and they'll put in a banker, and then we'll start to see the envelope being pushed as we normally do. So most drivers will put in a relatively safe lap to start with, and then through the course of the remaining 10 minutes they'll ever so slightly just begin to push their luck with the corners and the track limits, and that's where we see the really fast times start to creep in. So Hill Climb Racer gets us underway for the final time of qualifying here in the Fastar NxtGen Renault Megane Trophy. I never know what to call this league, so I call it something different every week. Of course, the liveries that you see, all designed custom for this league. They were all designed pre-season by JPH. A lot of blood, sweat and tears went into these things, and they all represent the different brands within PowerMax. So of course we've run through those through the season, and I've often used mildly sarcastic phrases to celebrate race wins and results and stuff, but the liveries are there to basically pay homage and thank the good guys over at PowerMax Racing who've got behind this championship. So if you're wondering why all the random designs, that is why. That's the reason behind it. Right. Some of them more household names than others. Adrian Flux, obviously massive insurance company. 3M for sticky things. So Gino officially drives the sticky car. And then Fast Car obviously for the magazine as well. Joyce Design is it's more of an NxtGen thing. So Joyce Design is someone who's collaborated, a company that's collaborated with NxtGen quite a lot. They actually, I think they do have a team in the real life VW Cup. So if this livery looks familiar, it's probably because you've seen it in real life. And Hirochrome is rocking that one. Right then, first lap's about to hit the deck. Let's see what these guys have got. So like I said, these are banker laps. Don't always read too much into these. Hill Climb 58.2, 57.4 for Hirochrome, Matty Rudd 59.2, D Whitehouse 2 minutes, Jack 2 minutes, Bruce Lee Harding 59.1, Rally Matt didn't put one in, did he? Adam ID is going to be next across the line. We'll have a bit of a look through anyone we may have missed. P. Gibbs way down there, he's sat in the pits for ages. Adam ID 59.4. Rally Matt did put a 2:03.8 in. Woodo was going to be next across the line. Not going to be a lap beater for this one, but a 58.4, so a nice safe lap time for Woodo. He can start to push it now. But in the time being, as we approach the halfway mark of quali, probably time for another 2-3 laps. Hirochrome leads the way with a 57.441. Timmy, one of my personal drivers of the season. Obviously I've sat here and watched every minute of every race from a, what's the word, objective viewpoint. So I've looked all up and down the field. For me, Tim has been one of the standout drivers of this season. Hirochrome goes without saying, guy's just ridiculously fast. He's deserved the title. He's not looked out of it. He's really fast, but he's had to really work for it this season. He's driven exceptionally all season as well. He did miss that one round at Scuba, but obviously drop scores counting this season, so it didn't really hurt him overall. But obviously we've had some good performances throughout the field as well. Pete Gibbs had some notable ones. Gibbo for pole actually did come to life this time, but he's been cursed with bad luck. 58.5 in his first qualifying effort so far. He will be thinking of what possibly could have been on some occasions. So Hill Climb Racer then, does he improve on his 58.2? Doesn't improve on that. Neither does Hirochrome though, which is relatively good news for him. Can Timmy improve? In fact, we can cheat this. We can cheat the system a little bit. A lot of personal best sectors being set here. Timmy doesn't improve. Just misses out on improving a little bit. Woodo did improve 58. Oh no, that was his first lap, 58.4. Let's see if he improves this time. It's not going to be, is it? Oh, it is 58.3, just about, but it says only a slight improvement. Adam ID improved that time round as well, 58.8 that time, jumped 6/10 off his time. Did leapfrog him above Rally Matt, who also improved. He got a 59.0 on the board. Bruce Lee Harding, 59.1 for Bruce Lee Harding. That dread car is just struggling to get to grips with the track for the time being. There is time in the bank for him to potentially improve this. We've got Matty Wood out there on a 59.2 in the Tame Tools car. JPH 59.5 back in the Power Max livery. Jaino, who has been someone frequently at the top of the timesheets in most races, 59.5 this time round for Jaino so far. Again, we could potentially see an improvement. D Whitehouse yet to really show up for qualifying. 2 minutes flat so far for D Whitehouse, who is solid on the improvement radar. Hill climb improving. A couple of drivers were improving as well through the latter stages, but as Hill climb is going to be the next one across the line, it makes sense just to nip to him for the time being in the number 77 fast car. Maximising his throttle inputs outside of the final corner. It shaves a 10th off his second. It's not enough to dislodge Timmy for the time being. Hirokon doesn't improve that time round either. Timmy's just had a spin, I'm assuming, so we'll have to write this one off. If he gets across the line in the next minute or so, they will get round to set another time. So last laps for most of these guys, very close between Ruddo and P-Gib. P-Gib put a 58.3 on the board that time round, as opposed to Ruddo's 58.3 as well. 3 thousandths of a second between Ruddo and P-Gib, and 5 thousandths of a second between P-Gib and Rally Matt. So less than 100th of a second separates two positions, so it's very close here in qualifying, despite it being a track that takes nearly 2 minutes to get round. That shows you the level of competition that is prevalent in this league. So I'm going to check at the timing sheets, who's doing what. So a couple of people improving sector 1. All your time here really means sector 1 is pretty damning, but sector 2 is where the time is won and lost really. It's that slow turn 5 that really loses you a lot of time. Sector 3 is pretty open, sector 4 is pretty open as well. In these Meganes, they're all about the handling and how you get the car turned in. We have got Jack, who was improving both sectors. He's currently sat 12th on a 59.7. He did improve sectors 1 and 2. He's just about to come across for sector 3. Let's see if the Adrian Flux car is on a roll to improve. He's due to go up 4 temps, so he is due to leapfrog JPH here. Potentially even Jaino as well, or JPH tangles with Bruce Lee Harding in the dread car. That might actually get in the way of Jack's lap. I want to say it didn't though, because it looked like, is that D Whitehouse actually? No, it's Bruce Lee Harding. Right, Hill Climb Racer does improve in the end. That's 58.0 for him. Let's just go back to Jack. Does he improve? He does. Goes up to 10th with that 59.3 for Jack H. So as qualifying comes to a close, a little bit of a small recap. Hirokram 57.4, early pace for Hirokram, no one ever came close to him. Hill Climb Racer 58.0 for him, Timmy on a 58.0 as well, so just 0.02 of a second between second and third. Ruddo on a 58.1, so again less than a tenth behind those boys. We've got Jaino, who did show up in the end with a 58.3. Good luck from him, just ahead of P-Gib on a 58.3 as well. Rally Matt 58.3, Adam ID 58.8. And yeah, that's your lot really. Bruce Lee Harding obviously not happy about something there. I don't think we'll get to see what. I haven't got the replay function here, so I can't look at it. But obviously the dread car's not happy about something. He'll be starting 10th tonight. So aside from Hirokram winning the race, what are your predictions? What do you think is going to be happening? during the race. Is there anyone still on an actual hot lap? There are 2 cars out there still. Although I'd argue they're not improving. Matty Rudd was improving, although he's now backed off it. So yeah, I think all drivers have finished the race. Finished qualifying, sorry, not the race. I'd be very impressed with them if they had finished the race. Have we got anyone in the pits? Jack, get out of the pits, Jack. Sat in there for a good 30 seconds. Get to the pits, my man. Where was he anyway? He was just ahead of JP8, so he's going to knock himself down a couple of places if he stays in the pits. Can't delay the race forever, my friend. So last race of the season then for the Power Max Racing Meganes. There is of course another lobby that is commentated on by Jack TM53 Synopsis, I think his username is. He also uploads it to YouTube afterwards, so you can go and have a look at that if that's what you're all about. If this Megane action isn't enough for you, then there's another lobby that you can go and get yourself involved in. Jack is coming out the pits now. Needs to get past sector 1 though, but if you haven't learned that by now on this game, then there's no hope for you. Hill climb basically just going for the scenic look. He's just parked up. What are they doing? Jano is actually trying to get some laps in. Yeah, there goes Jack, he's nearly there now. He's doing some donuts like, so I don't think he's taking it too soon. There he goes, he should be out now. You're good to go, JPH, we're good to go. It's been a long day. Alright then, 20 minutes of hot Megane action ahead of you. From Lago Maggiore GP, so a circuit that doesn't necessarily guarantee anyone a win, because it's very easy to just drop it off the circuit here. Or just run a little bit wide, lose a loads of momentum. Here's your starting grid for the final round. Predictably Hirocram on pole, but again, he may not have it all his own way this race. Stay tuned to find out. Does look like everyone gets away well. Jano in the 3M car just a little bit bogged down, but doesn't seem to have affected him too much. A little bit of scrubbage going on the back there. Hirocram does lead us away into the first corner for the first time with Askin, and everyone else looks to be clean as a whistle through this one as well. Doesn't look like there's any scuffling at the back like there normally is at this racetrack. We did see P-Gib there battling away with Rally Matt. P-Gib sticks it down the inside then through turn 4 and keeps that position. At the back we have got JPH99 who did have a little bit of a bad start. Meanwhile at the top Hirocram is making a little bit of a break for it. He has got a hill climb racer for company. There's Timmy in that fight as well. Jano's about a second ahead of P-Gib. P-Gib's got a horde of cars behind him. It's as you can see there, it's Rally Matt, Adam ID, there's Bruce Lee Harding involved in that one as well, I can see. There's all sorts of cars there, but P-Gib needs to just make sure he's not losing Jano. There's lots of moves going ahead at the top. We've got Timmy and Woodrow fighting away. Timmy just taking the defensive line here at the long sweepy banky boy. You can really cut that inside curb, which throws you around. One car there did get a little bit rough. That looked like... Who did that look like? Can't remember who that looked like. That was Rally Matt's car that got a little bit wrong going through there. Top 5 starting to break away. P. Gibbs lost a couple of taps to those guys in the last couple of sectors. The good news for P. Gibbs is Rally Matt, Adam ID and Bruce Lee Harding are starting to embroil themselves in a little bit of a battle. Anyone stuck behind these guys is going to find it very difficult to make their way through. D. Whitehouse then has been relegated to the bottom of the field as we come across the start-finish straight for the first time of asking. Here we come, leading the way to Hill Climb Racer. Timmy in hot pursuit, but he is getting hounded now by Ruddo and Jaino. Just gets a little bit bouncy over that curb. These Meganes are quite light. The power balance of them, the weight balance rather, very critical to a good lap time. So getting a fistful of curbs is probably not ideal for that. Just quickly on board with D. Whitehouse, right from the back of the field. You can see Jaino go for a nice little move down the inside of Jack, but loses at the back end. You can see what I mentioned about curbs. That is a perfect example of it, I think. Let's just jump on board JPH and just see what happens. So you'll see the car of Jack H just go wide on the entry to turn 4. Yeah, just too much curb. There was no other car involved, and that just upset the weight balance of the car, and it spun it backwards basically. So here we come, still holding on to the lead. Hill climbing hot pursuit. Ruddo's still in hot pursuit of Timmy as well. Timmy's having to drive a very defensive race. That's backing him off from hill climb, and it is letting the top guys escape. Ruddo is hounding him for a move. Ruddo then has to go back round the outside. May go for the slingshot here. Timmy is quite wise to it. Ruddo does get a very good exit though. May well have another attack of this car as you come down towards the final sector. They are neck and neck then. Coming down towards the double right-hander. Timmy again having to go defensive. We'll keep an eye on that. A little bit further back we do have Jack and Matty Wood fighting away. D. Whitehouse on the back of them, and JPH now has a bit of a recovery drive on his hands if he wants to claim some extra points for his championship fight. But there are still an awful lot of positions up for grabs. I don't have the permutations to hand, but maybe JPH will jump into the party chat afterwards and tell us all about it. He normally does at the end of the season anyway. He likes to come into the party chat and have a bit of a word. It's his thing. So a temporary period of calm has bestowed us here at the Renault Megane Trophy. The carnage from the first few laps has largely subdued itself, and we're just starting to see the usual Megane pattern emerge. So first 5 minutes carnage, middle 10 minutes maybe a little bit of craftsmanship going on, cars trying to catch up to one another, maybe a little bit of working together breaks out from time to time as well, and then the last 5 minutes it's typically carnage again. it's when they, we've got Matty Wood off. I spoke too soon I think about lack of carnage. What happened to Matty Wood here? So this is going into the S's. Oh, he just brakes while his back wheels are submerged in grass, and that there's no grip on grass. So, unfortunately, that's sent him backwards. At the top, the man who we have often said is leading the race, Hirogram, 1.4 seconds to the good. Hill climb race is still sticking with him though. Ruddo's got past Timmy. Timmy's been shuffled down somewhere. Did we miss that? So yeah, this was Jaino getting past Timmy a couple of corners ago. I'm guessing he just got a bad one out of the big banky boy chicane. Pete Gibbs going to try and go on the attack against Timmy now. Pete Gibbs, who has had almost constant attention from a car behind for the duration of the race really so far, can now focus on a car ahead. We did see Adam ID there taking a new level of track limits and going really out. In fact, no, it was Jack, wasn't it? It was Jack that did that, not sorry for the mistaken identity. You all look the same to me. from the man who pre-season. I think I made a spotter's guide for this as well. You'd think I'd use it from time to time, wouldn't you? Anyway, a little bit of a battle starting to break out now because of this Timmy situation. So because we've had a little bit of a compression of vehicles is what I'd probably call it. Oh, we've got a spinner. That is Timmy. Timmy is off. We'll go back and have a look at that. Let's see what happened to Timmy. He's ended up leaving the room. So what happened here? So if you look behind, he got a little bit of a bump on the inside, and then yeah, I don't know what happened to him. It suddenly transfers us over to Jano's car. I'm not sure what happened. Just on the stream it looked like contact, but the behaviour of it afterwards made it sound like it wasn't that. So couldn't possibly tell you. There was a nice little fight here happening between P-Gib, Adam ID and Rally Matt. It looked mostly resolved. Rally Matt had to go around the long way. Bruce Lee Harding made his way through into 7th place. So yeah, a bit of a strange event there with Timmy. Not quite sure what happened. I couldn't possibly tell you. That has led to good news for P. Gibder, who had a bit of a poor start to the race, but he's starting to recover things now. He can now focus on getting ahead of Adam ID and trying to catch up to the cars ahead now. Matty Wood, after that spin, still in 12th. We are approaching the halfway point of the race. We have... How many cars do we have left? 12? Yeah, we've got 12 cars remaining to see us out the last 10 minutes of the season. In terms of the lead battle, Hirocram has slowly been pulling away from Hill Climb Racer by about half a second a lap, there or thereabouts. Ruddo doing similar times to Hill Climb Racer, and at this stage comfortably ahead of Jano in 4th. Jano hasn't got the same level of comfort. He's got P-Gib, Adam ID and Bruce Lee Harding and Rally Matt all in relatively close proximity behind him. D Whitehouse then leads the next pack. He's just ahead of Jack H. Jack's got a bit of a lead over JPH, who had that spin early on and is recovering. Matty Wood unfortunately does appear to be out of it, at least for the time being, with him being 10 seconds down at the back of the grid. So that's your mid-race report. In terms of things to watch, probably this little battle that's sort of evolving here. Who will finish up being victorious out of these lot? So you've got to say this is pretty much open with the remaining time we've got left. We've seen how easily mistakes can be made around here. It's not so difficult to get one done. Let's go for an onboard lap with Hirocram, and we'll just talk you through a lap of Lago Maggiore GP. So turn 1, sharp 90-degree left, but immediately followed by right. So you want to approach this with turn 2 in mind and keep your car over to the left. Hirocram dives straight for the apex and captures that inner apex. Gets a nice run out through into turn 3, almost flat, just a little bit of a lift, and then turn 4 again. Just be careful of the curb on the inside, it can upset the car, and feel free to run wide on exit. You aren't punished for that by the game. Turn 5, long sweeping right-hander. You just need to get your turning point here pretty accurate. Hirocram does a lovely job of that, gets on the throttle nice and early and powers his way up to the S's. Carrying speed and momentum through here is critical. You're going uphill now for a little bit, so all the momentum in the world is what's required to extract a good lap time out of Lago Maggiore. Under the bridge and up the hill, and then you will very sharply drop downhill as you come down towards a big banky boy. You can brake a lot later here than you think you need to because of the banking of the curb. You can brake at around 50 metres. So down all the way from over 140 miles an hour, then down to 70 round the corner. as you go uphill again through another set of S's. This time these don't really put as much strain on the car. You just want to straight line them as much as possible. We're setting purple sectors now. Double right-hander again. You just want to carry the speed through the first part of this one. Set yourself up for the second part. You could lose way more pace through that one if you get it wrong. Hirakom again does a lovely job of that. Look for the 50-metre board. That's roughly where you start to turn the car in. And then you can run it wide on exit here. Just be very careful not to hit the grass on the exit because you will slam into a wall. And Hirakom sets us a 57.546. So a good lap there by Hirakom to get another lap under his belt. Lap number 7 now for these guys. We are starting to heat up here in the battle for 5th. P-Gib is being chased down by Adam ID and Bruce Lee Harding. Nothing else happening really other than D Whitehouse trying to work his way back through the pack. He's got Jack H for company. This is where the action is though. As we just jump on board with Bruce Lee Harding's car. He might have a bit of a run here on Adam. Adam was aware of that and immediately went defensive in the Masterbolt car. This is enabling P-Gib to escape a tad. Bruce Lee Harding just going for exit speed over entry speed there. It might stand him in good stead, but it's hard to make an overtake now until you really get to Big Banky Boy. So he kind of has to just sit behind Adam ID's car and wait for the opportunity to come to him. Now Adam's looked like he's defended this once or twice already. So Bruce Lee Harding is gaining time. He may not be close enough this time for an actual move. He is poking himself out of the slipstream. Timmy is back. That tells me it was a network issue for Timmy, because you don't normally rejoin the room if you've rage quit. But he has rejoined. So Adam then has covered P-Gib in just a little bit more. So a couple of attempts separate these three drivers. There are of course penalties to serve, but they're not an amazing amount. Adam ID's got 3 attempts, so is Bruce Lee Harding, so those will be for little track cut infringements along the way. Nothing too dramatic. We have got just 6 minutes remaining of this now, so another handful of laps, and we should be done and dusted with this one. The battle between Jack and D Whitehouse is still bubbling away. No change in the order with that one. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Hirakom that lost half a second over Hill Climb Racer. It's not signing the alarm, it's not singing the alarm bells just yet, but it might be worth keeping an eye on. Oh, Adam ID's passed P-Gib. P-Gib, are you pushing your boundaries a little bit there? You got it. It ended up being a really nice corner line, but you look really close to the track edge there. Again, single file through this section of the circuit. Bruce Lee Harding looking like he wants to make a move here. Don't forget, Bruce this time a lap ago was looking like a move on Adam, and Adam's leapfrogged himself above P-Gib instead. So Adam may have to go on the defensive once again, but this time he's defending 5th instead of 6th place. Bruce Lee Harding looking like he's in an attack mode. P-Gib goes on the attack as well though, goes down the inside. Nice move by P-Gib to get himself back up to 5th. This is music for Jaino's ears though. He's starting to drop these guys like a stone now because they are battling so much. Bruce Lee Harding just looking for a way through. Rally Matt now has caught up to these guys because of the amount of fighting happening. Adam ID slung it again up the inside, and as Bruce is getting a great vantage point at this, as P-Gib just throws it back up the inside of Adam ID. Adam just with a nose in, could potentially go down the inside of P-Gib, backs out of it. And for a solid lap now, these guys have been fighting away in the midfield. 4 minutes remaining of the race now, probably another 2 or 3 laps remaining. Adam just about managed to defend that, but Rally Matt looking promising for an overtake if they carry on fighting like they are. You got to be honest, this could go either way. I did say at the start, as Pigab takes new liberties with track limits, but seems to get a decent exit out of that one. I really don't like where the timer is. It's right getting in my way. So it's Pigab in 5th, Adam ID 6th, Bruce Lee Harding 7th, and Rally Matt 8th. But if it finishes, I've said this a few times, if it finishes like that, I'll be very surprised. Back up to the top, Heracram then, no such errors on lap 8. Back, normal services resumed back in the 57s. Hill Climb's found his groove though, he's just going faster, he's getting 57s as well, so he's starting to pull away from Ruddo in the 58s. Jaino, with that battling behind, has managed to pull a second over these guys who are again fighting down Big Banky Boy. Adam ID's just going to try and sling it round the outside. Matty Wood's left the room. He was stone dead last and quite a few seconds away as well, so maybe not enjoying his racing, Matty Wood. Bruce Lee Harding going on full dog attack mode then. Adam ID's also going full dog attack mode on Pigab. They were fighting here last time out as well. Pigab able to hold station. I've got to be honest, it's been great racing from these four. It's looked really good from my vantage point at least. Going into the final corner. I'm just having a look at the time and see if we'll get another lap out of this. We will. So we'll get 2 more laps, I reckon, for most of these guys. So Rally Matt and upwards are going to get another lap. Jack H and below are on their final lap now, I would hasten to say. Top 3 looks relatively decided. Heracram, Hill Climb and Ruddo. They've gone into a bit of a class of their own so far. Jaino looks pretty safe in 4th. Pigab, Adam ID, Bruce Lee Harding, Rally Matt. Any of those guys could finish anywhere in between 5th and 8th. That really could go anywhere. Just as we're saying that, Rally Matt's going to attack against Bruce Lee Harding into the S's. Bruce is going to try and hold it. Doesn't manage to. I was just going to say that's just going to slow them both down, but I think Bruce just backed out of that one, and he'll just instead get the slipstream off the garage floor tire company car as they go down towards Big Banky Boy anyway. So it might well serve him well to have done that. Adam ID might look for down the inside of Pigab, doesn't do that. Rally Matt has to go defensive then against Bruce Lee Harding, and Bruce slings himself back through, so a nice move by Bruce Lee Harding in the end. Let's just have a quick look at that actually. So yeah, it was just side by side going down. He's just going to get him on the brakes. And the Dread car with a nice overtake then down the inside. Again, these guys, this just has not stopped, really, being a race. D Whitehouse has had an error somewhere. We've missed that. Probably because it was probably on the last lap we did a 201. So, these lot gonna get another lap in. Oh, Rally Matt's made a big error there. Jack H is going to finish in 9th, D Whitehouse is going to finish 10th, and JPH is going to finish 11th. But let's have a little bit of, let's just keep an eye on this at least until we get nearer the end. So Pigab 5th at the minute, Adam ID 6th, Bruce Lee Harding 7th, Rally Matt is 8th. I'm guessing he just outbraked himself coming down the start finish straight. He did. He took himself out as well, so credit Rally Matt, credit to you. It would have, you know, some people, probably no one in this league to be fair, but some people would have just rammed the car ahead. Credit to you for not choosing to take that course of action. Jaino's got a little bit of a penalty. It's not a big worry. He can just get rid of that as and well. Most drivers at the top carrying little penalties. They might choose to burn them off, but carrying them to the finish line is not really going to harm their opportunities. P-Gib defending again to Adam, but Adam's got the overdrive then going up the hill. Might get the sweep around move done around the outside. So yeah, nicely set up move by Adam. That is a move he will have had to have considered a few corners in advance to get that successfully pulled out. Is P-Gib going to go on the attack though through the final corners? You can bet your bottom dollar he is. He's now just running out of opportunities though to get this move made. Sorry Hiracram, I'm just going to keep an eye on this little fight. So Hiracram does win the race. Hill Climb Race is going to come home second with Ruddo in third. Jaino in fourth in the end with Adam ID finishing fifth. P-Gib 6th, Bruce Lee Hard in 7th, all those within a 10th easily, and then Rally Matt in 8th position. Right, so there's your confirmation of results. I'm going to give you just a blue screen in a moment, just while I open a party. There we go. Sorry about the blue screen, I can't really help it. Right, so I now have a party open. JPH, if you can join it and then invite Hiracram. In fact, I'll nip it. I can just do it on me thing, can't I? Give me a sec. Blue screen again, do apologise. JPH is here. Welcome JPH. I'm just going to get Hiracram in here. Don't know if you can hear me. And there he is. Right, gentlemen, really haven't enjoyed the races since Christmas, but it was good, P-Gib. That was a blinder, mate. That was an absolute blinder. Right, I need to do a little bit of a volume check since we're doing interviews. Hiracram is in the party. I'm just going to check that, mate. Right, so I can hear you, but it appears the lobby can't. So have you got your audio settings set to share? Don't know about you, JPH, as well, but I'm unable to hear you, so I'm actually going to exit the lobby, actually, because otherwise. This could be a podcast thing for JPH anyway, if we can't get it to work because of technical issues. I don't know if JPH is there. 1 minute. Let me. He is, but I'm not getting any audio from him.
Oh yeah, I was on mute.
Oh yeah, you don't know. You don't know. Right, so JPH, you're coming through on the stream, okay? It's just Hiracram I'm struggling to get. So, Mark, if you just want to try saying something. Mark, if you just. Yeah, nothing's coming through, which is a bit odd. So I don't know what we'd do in this situation, but normally I would throw it over to JPH because I do like to do these little interviews at the end. But if the audience can't hear you, it unfortunately defeats the object of it.
Is that better?
Let me try 1 second. Just say something now.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yep. We've got you.
Beautiful. I like
We've got you. Right, okay, so sorry for the technical issues, ladies and gents. Welcome to the world of PlayStation commentary. These things will happen. So we are joined in the inverted commas commentary booth by league organiser, hostess with the mostest, NxtGen admin, and all-round good guy, Jordan Harding, JPH99. And we also have resident alien driver, Mark Bramford, aka NxtGen Hirokram. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining me first and foremost. I'll keep it short. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Firstly, Mark, congratulations on the title. Successful defence from last season as well.
Thank you.
I've spent the day listening to the NxtGen podcast because I've realised that they were a thing and felt I needed to catch up on them. And throughout that, a theme that that a lot of the people watching, I guess, have got is that you haven't had this one all your own way. So, I guess from a general perspective, how have you found this championship this season as opposed to the season before?
Oh yeah, a million times harder. I mean, not that I ever did, but I could never just rock up on the evening at 7:30, log in and expect to do well. I have to put the time and the effort in to do well. Like, the standard of all the other drivers has gone up astronomically. I mean, from last season to this season, I've gone faster myself, and yet just now, even then, hill climb was only 4 seconds behind me after 20 minutes, when in previous seasons it would have been a much larger gap. So I've really been kept on my toes by everyone else.
And who, I know you might say hill climb to this, because I know my answer off the bat, but who's impressed you this season that isn't yourself?
Honestly, I'd say Timmy, considering he's come from Lobby 2, and from what he was saying in the chat the other day, that this time last season he was using automatic gears, and now he's a race winner off the top of my head from the last round or whatever it was. So
he is, yeah.
He's really, really improved.
I would 100% agree with your assessment on that. I mean, I said it during commentary tonight. I don't know if you were listening in or if you'll listen in later and shout at me from your screen. But one of the things I said in commentary is I have the opportunity to be quite objective when I'm watching these races. I'm not sat in a cockpit racing against people. And from an objective perspective, Tim has been incredible throughout the season. Bit unfortunate tonight, I'm afraid. It looked like a connection issue blighted him going into turn 5, but he was on for a good result, and he was part of that big midfield battle that you didn't see, but it just kicked off behind you.
I could see on the mini-map they looked like they were all nose to tail. I mean, everybody in the lobby has done incredibly well. So obviously Ruddo and Hill Climb have been there every single time. Gibbs made some huge strides in pace. Well, crikey, I feel I'm going to forget people. Bruce Lee Harding's been quick. Obviously, David's dropped in and out a little bit. It's just everybody, really. Rally Matt's put in some good shows. It's been really, really tough.
Yeah, it has. You've not had it your own way this season, to coin a phrase from JPH that I'll nick from his podcast. But big congratulations for the title again. Will you be returning next season to defend for the third time?
I have every intention of doing so. Yes, I do.
Good stuff. I might have stole your thunder there, JPH. I think it's 1 minute. I'm just PlayStation's doing its thing of automatically playing a video when I don't touch it. I think we've got these back for next season. I don't know.
Yeah, Megane's are back next season for their fourth consecutive season. I mean, we've had 3 seasons of 2 lobbies, and hopefully that will continue into season 20. Potentially, there is the potential format change, but it depends on various factors, shall we say. But again, most of that will get confirmed nearer the time.
Wicked.
Yeah, obviously, I've got to try and nail down our commentator, try and get him to sign another contract with us.
Well, negotiations will start after this, I'm sure. I've not made a secret of it that I've become a little bit burnt out this season. Lockdown's played a part for me. I don't know if you boys will agree, but it's added an extra drain onto an already quite stressful calendar, for me anyway. Yeah. So I'm going to be reviewing my options for next season and see what I can and can't commit to. But I've really enjoyed this. I mean, for me, it's not. Mark made a comment earlier that he can't just get in 10 minutes before the lobby opens and do his job. I fortunately can, so that's what I've been quite good at. Before we wrap,
myself and all the other drivers, thank you for commentating. I've always watched all of them back, and it's always a great watch. So.
Oh, good man. Good. It's good that I'm getting some views in, and the reason I do it is just to add a little bit something extra for the guys giving up the time to entertain us on the internet.
It's without doubt class commentary. I mean, as you know, Chris, I watch it while I say watch. I listen to it whilst racing. So
yeah, and I know Key Gibbs does as well.
I should do a shout out as well for my most avid viewer. My mother watches every single one of these. So
does she? Oh, right, okay. Hello, Mark's mum. It's a good job I've not said anything bad about
you. My wife is gesturing at me for not mentioning her as well. So.
Hello, Mark's wife. Yeah, well, like I said, there will be announcements. If you're watching this as a neutral, maybe not part of the NxtGen family, and you want to get involved, NxtGen Racing over on Facebook is where you'll find all your sim racing needs fulfilled, whether you be on console or PC. They have a whole myriad of different things going on. Leagues are finishing now for this season, but they'll be restarting at some point. I'm sure JPH can chime in a moment and fill us in on that.
Got the date set for season 20. Week commencing the 15th of March.
There you go then.
The season gets back up. So we've got about 5 weeks break, and in between that we got race of wins to do.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a few little special fun events.
Forgot about that. Right, okay. So JP, before we wrap it up, because I'm conscious of stream time running over and other things, but have you got any questions for our championship winner while he's here, or anything that you'd like to say to the audience?
Well, first of all, say congratulations to Mark. Obviously, defending a title is never easy. I mean, winning one is not easy, but defending I always find harder. Because you've got that sudden pressure that you're the man with a target on your back.
Quite literally throughout this one as well.
Yeah. If I could steal some of his talent, I'll be quite happy. But no, in general, everyone's been quite good this season. We've had very little in the way of incidents. And I think this season's been quite good in terms of numbers. We've had the odd dip here and there, but no, it's generally been very, very good. And thank you, Chris, for once again commentating as always.
Welcome.
It's always fantastic to have, not only for the drivers, but just to get the league out there, especially with it being sponsored by PowerMax, which again, next year I'd like to thank that one as well.
It's good to have their support as well. Big brands in helps.
Yeah, it's a fantastic thing to have. But other than that, I mean, congratulations to all the drivers this season. Obviously, some drivers are going to be moving up. Martin from Lobby 2 will be coming up to Lobby 1 next season because he's won that one.
Oh, well done, Martin.
Yeah. It's thank you to everyone who's competed, and hopefully we'll see everyone back for season 20.
Excellent. Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Well, again, a few thank yous from me as your impartial commentator, but obviously JPH is the unsung hero of the NxtGen Megane Leagues. The amount of work and effort that goes into this stuff behind the scenes is pretty much unprecedented. I run a league myself, and I know how much work's involved in it, and JPH does more than I do, because he makes all the liveries and stuff as well. Big well done to Mark. Be exciting to see what he can do next season. If he does indeed come back to renew his title. And obviously if you're watching this, you want to get involved, you have got time. Now is the perfect time to get involved in this sort of stuff. Sim racing's never been bigger. So it's now a good time to get involved in it, and a big thank you to all the drivers that have participated, watched the streams and supported me as well throughout it. So that's it from myself. Unless you gents have any closing words, that's all from me this time now.
No, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, and hopefully we'll see everyone next season.
Thank you, chaps. Yeah, we'll see you next time round. Until then, it's been a blast. You've been watching CJW Racing. Take care of yourselves and have a good time. Bye bye.